It all began with 4 words that changed my life forever. "He's just so needy." The laughter that followed still echoes in my mind. I stood frozen outside the patio door, holding 2 glasses of lemonade I had brought for Emily and me. Through the glass, I watched her throw her head back laughing with her closest friends. Claire smirked. "Seriously? Jacob still follows you around asking for cuddles?" Emily rolled her eyes and laughed even harder. "Oh, please," she said. "He acts like affection is some basic human need. It's honestly embarrassing." The women burst into laughter. One of them added, "Poor guy probably can't survive a day without attention." Emily didn't defend me. She laughed with them. I quietly placed the drinks on a nearby table and walked away before anyone noticed I'd been standing there. That was the night I stopped asking for love. But my marriage had been dying long before that moment. Months earlier. Every night looked exactly the same. Emily would lie on the far edge of the bed, her back facing me, the glow of her phone lighting up the dark room while I stared at the ceiling, wondering where my wife had gone. One night, I finally reached for her. My fingers barely touched her shoulder before she pulled away. "Jacob, not tonight." I swallowed the disappointment. "It's never tonight." She sighed loudly. "Can you stop making everything about you?" "I'm not trying to," I whispered. "I just miss being close to you." She slowly turned toward me, not with love, but with irritation. "You know what's unattractive?" I stayed silent. A grown man begging for affection. Her words hit harder than any slap ever could. "Maybe if you acted like a real man instead of constantly needing reassurance, I'd actually want to be near you." I couldn't answer, because the woman speaking wasn't the woman I married. She was the woman I had carried through unemployment, anxiety, panic attacks, and years of self-doubt. I had never left her side. Now she couldn't even bear my touch. That night I cried silently after she fell asleep. She never noticed. The next morning she hummed happily while making breakfast. "Coffee?" she asked with a smile, as if she hadn't shattered me 12 hours earlier. That's when something inside me quietly broke. I stopped asking. I stopped reaching for her hand. I stopped waiting outside the bathroom just to steal a quick kiss. I stopped saying "I love you" first. There were no arguments. No ultimatums, just silence. Instead, I rebuilt myself. I returned to the gym, started reading again, worked longer hours, met old friends for dinner. Every day I became a little stronger. Every day I needed her a little less. Weeks later, Emily finally noticed. "You've been acting different." "Have I? You don't even hug me anymore." I smiled politely. "I didn't think you wanted me to." For the first time in months, she had nothing to say. Suddenly, she wanted movie nights. She asked me to sit beside her on the couch. She reached for my hand. Months earlier, I would have done anything for those moments. Now, they felt like charity instead of love. Then came Claire's birthday party, the same party where everything finally ended. Music filled the backyard while everyone laughed around the fire pit. I stood alone near the drinks table when Claire nudged Emily. "So, has Jacob finally stopped begging for attention?" Emily laughed so loudly that several people turned toward her. "Oh, don't worry. I finally trained him. He doesn't ask anymore." The group exploded with laughter. Someone joked, "Guess you broke him." Emily smiled. "Looks like it." None of them realized I was standing only a few feet away, listening, every single word. Oddly enough, I didn't feel angry. I felt free. A few minutes later, Emily walked over carrying 2 drinks. "There you are," she smiled. "You disappeared." I looked into her eyes, calm, peaceful, almost like I'd already said goodbye. "Ready to go home?" she asked. I nodded once. During the drive, neither of us spoke. She thought I was upset. She had no idea I had finally made my decision. The next morning, I packed 1 suitcase. She walked into the bedroom laughing. "What are you doing?" "I'm leaving." The smile disappeared from her face. "Stop joking." "I'm not." Fear instantly replaced confidence. Jacob, wait. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean those things. I zipped my suitcase. You meant them enough to say them. It was just a joke. No, it was the truth you only felt brave enough to say because your friends were laughing. She collapsed onto the bed crying. I never thought you'd actually leave. I looked at her for one final moment, and I never thought the woman I loved would make me feel worthless. I walked out the front door without looking back. For weeks, my phone never stopped ringing. Please come home. I miss you. We can fix this. I'll change. I read every message. I answered none. Months later, one final text appeared. You were the best man I ever had. I didn't realize your silence would hurt more than your words. I would give anything for one more chance. I stared at the screen. Then I smiled. Not because she was hurting, but because I wasn't anymore. I deleted the message, put my phone away, and walked toward the life I should have chosen long ago. Emily mocked my need for closeness in front of the people she wanted to impress. I simply replied, "Don't worry, I'll never ask again." Sometimes the strongest goodbye isn't loud. Sometimes it's the silence that comes after you've finally chosen yourself.